Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Shireman. Today we're going to be going over the coach with you. We're going to be starting up front here. Pretty much with this guy here is how you're going to be getting on and off the tow vehicle. This is also how you level the camper from front to back. We usually do like recommending while you're still hooked to the tow vehicle, make sure you're level from side to side first. You may have to put blocks on one side or the other, kind of keep the camper from side to side. They do have a little stick-on levels you can buy. You can stick on the coach. We usually recommend a carpenter's level right inside the doorway. Once you've done the side to side, that's when you would unhook from the tow vehicle, pull it forward, and then pretty much just hand crank to raise and lower to level out the camper. Once you have done that, you're going to lower your stabilizer jacks located on each corner of the camper. It is a 3/4 socket. It does come with a manual hand crank tool. Inside here is going to be our two 20-pound propane tanks. The tech did fill these guys, and then what was used was to test the systems. This guy here is going to be a regulator. Right now it's showing red because we have no propane flow. Turn this guy on, flips over to green, shows we have propane flow. You can't have both tanks on. If this tank goes empty, it will start pulling from the other tank, and this will flip red, showing that this tank is empty that it's trying to pull from. We recommend just having one on at a time, so that way you know when one of these canisters is empty. And back behind there is going to be where our battery is located, 24 series deep cycle marine RV style battery. We have our storage compartment here. Pretty much it is a pass-through. Inside is that manual crank I told you about for your stabilizer jacks. We did have new tires put on this. The tire pressure on these guys, you do want to make sure you keep them top off. Let me find that for you real quick. It is going to be 65 PSI, and we do recommend the tires are torqued to 100 foot-pounds. That is also what this sticker here is. With these being new and the rims were taken off, you do, after 50 miles, want to recheck these lug nuts. Torque wrench, 100 foot-pounds. Back here is your city water hookup. For this, we recommend a pressure regulator on the water spigot. From there, your options of an inline water filter, so it'll filter water for you. Then your water hose, and then it just connects right into here. Turn it on, you'll be able to start using the water in the coach. The hot side, if the tank is empty, you'll have to wait for that tank to fill before you can use that tank. Down here is where our dumps are located. You have the gray handle for the gray tank, black handle for the black tank. Back here on the back side here is going to be our lid. Low point joints are located right here as well. It's going to be these guys right here. You got the red line for the hot, blue for the cold. A lot of times those are used whenever you go to winterize the coach. I also like recommending using those whenever you're done. Using the camper, you always want to try to get all the water out of the coach. By taking off those caps, opening up a faucet, as you drive home, the air will go through the lines, push any excess water out. So you won't have any water left in the line so it can get stagnant or bad. You got your cable and satellite hook up here. You got your 30 amp power cord that feeds into the unit. Right now we do have it plugged into an adapter. We do have our spare tire, which that was also replaced as well. So this is also new too. You do have the options for a observational camera. Another storage compartment space here. And it does go pretty far back in there. This guy here is going to be where you fill the fresh water tank. Fresh water tank is pretty much portable water, so if the campsite didn't provide it for you, you'd have to fill up this tank. A lot of times at a campground that doesn't provide it, they usually have water spigots throughout the place so you can fill up close to the campsite. Pretty much it is gravity fed, just stick the hose in and let it fill. And our drain for him should be located down here as well. It's going to be this little cap right down here that you're going to remove. It's located behind the tire. Oh, they already got the cap out. Down here we have the furnace. Pretty much you don't want to have nothing hanging in front of it. You want it to be able to breathe properly. We do recommend mud dauber screens. Helps keep the mud daubers out of there. And also helps keep the wasp out. Here's going to be pretty much the venting for the fridge. This guy, there isn't really nothing you have to do in here. It's usually always going to be a service only kind of thing. The only thing you would maybe check for are mud dauber nests. A nice thing I've heard that helps out with that is putting dryer sheets in there. They're always attracted to the scent of the propane. You got your vent for the stove. It just pops open and closed. There's little clips here to lock it in. You do have to pop that open whenever you go to, excuse me, whenever you go to use the stove. And then you got your 2 outside speakers there. I'll show you how to turn those on once we are inside. Water heater. We do have our cap for the freshwater tank located right inside here. This guy down here is an anno rod. It's a 1 1/16 socket. This is how you are going to drain the water tank. You open this to relieve the pressure, and then take this guy out. This guy starts out the size of a dime, and we'll work itself down to the size of a coat hanger. What it's doing is attracting the impurities in the water, so it attacks that rod and not your tank. Located down below is going to be a switch for the electric side of the water heater. There's an on and off. Gas option is controlled from inside. Got a 110 outlet out here that is GFCI protected. Open your awning is controlled on the control panel. I'll show you how to operate that once we step inside. This guy here is going to be to hold our door propped open. And then we do have the other side of our storage compartment here. Your door, you can release the screen. So if you wanted a screen door open on a nicer day, you can do that. This guy here is going to be so you can lock the deadbolt when you're inside the coach. This is going to be your handle to open the door and the handle to pull the door shut. For your steps, you're always going to grab this rail here. You're going to slide out, then this will fold down, and then fold down. Nice and simple. Forgot to show you this guy right here. This hole right here is so that if for some reason the motor option isn't working, you still have a way to bring the slide room in. It's going to be that same crank handle for your stabilizers. As we step in, you got the fire extinguisher right near the door. What was it? Oh, they're right here. So this guy here, as you see, it's labeled for the slide room to bring it in and out. You just press and hold and then come out. Once it's all the way out, you'll hear like the gear ratcheting, click, click, click sound. You want to stop. Always make sure you got plenty of clearance when you're bringing the slide room out. And it's always important that you inspect the slide room inside and out before you bring it in. Then our other one here is going to be for the awning, to bring it in and out. You might want to step inside. There might be a little bit of moisture on there, so usually you got to bring it out a little fuller and then bring it back for it to release that little lip there. There it goes. Generally though, you want that guy to be kind of vertically straight down. You can create a pitch on this by having these guys here. These guys are always going to be loose whenever you go to bring the awning in or out. They only get tightened whenever you go to adjust. You slide it in, you twist it to lock it tight, and it will create a pitch on the awning. Loosen that guy back up, he'll go right back into his normal position. Your awning is a little dirty. I usually recommend, it looks like they've tried to use bleach to clean it. That's why it's starting to get that little stainish color to it. I do like to recommend using either Simple Green or Awesome. Just make sure you dilute the Awesome because it is pretty strong. But Simple Green and the Awesome does work very well for cleaning awnings. All right. There's one light switch here to turn on our inside lights. our other switch here turns on our little porch light up here. This here is going to be our little control panel. Pretty much it tells you your battery status and your tank statuses. Right now it's going to read empty, gray's empty, black's still reading a little bit. We got to go dump that. And here's how you're going to turn on the water pump. And this is going to be for the gas option to the water heater. When you flip this on, this little light here will pop on. This light will stay on until it fires on propane. It will try to ignite 3 times. After that 3rd time, if it does not ignite, that light will stay on. You want to just look, hey, did I forget to turn the tank on, or is the tank possibly empty? It's always usually one of those top 2 options. We'll just go ahead and go this way. We have pretty much the kitchen sink area. You've got storage underneath as well. And they do provide a light here also. We've got our microwave, pretty self-explanatory with the microwaves. One thing we do like to say is you can set your time. And if you guys go out and do something, you come back, you see the time fall back at 0, so it shows you that there was a power failure at the campsite. You might want to look in to see what happened. Next, you got the stove here. For the stove, you're just going to turn your pilot knobs here to the light position, and then you would turn the top burner spark. For the oven, you do have to use a barbecue lighter to light. You're going to turn it to the pilot position, push and hold it in while you light the pilot. The pilot is located down here. Once that's lit, you keep it pressed and held in for 5 to 7 seconds, then set the temperature. This is where your hood range is for the light and for the fan. Refrigerator. Pretty much, this guy is how you turn it on and off. You just press and hold this. It'll shut it off. Turn it on. It says here, check the gas if it holds a red light. So if there's a red light, that shows you that it didn't fire on the propane. As you see here, it says it is automatic, so it will automatically switch between 110 and the propane on its own. So if you unplug the unit and the propane is on, this guy will still continue to be on. You do have to turn this off. Pretty much you got the freezer and the fridge. This guy here is how you can lock the doors. And this is pretty much usually only going to be when you're storing the camper. So that way it can vent out so you don't get that mildew or mold to form. And you got more cabinet space here and here. We got the bunk area up top and below. I would say the recommended weight limit on this is going to probably be about 225. I would not exceed that. We are going to backtrack just for a quick second here. Forgot underneath here. This guy down here is going to be your LP detector. This guy senses propane in the coach. It will go off. I'm going to go ahead and press this button. What we're doing is kind of just showing a test. And then it will go off again. Oh, this guy is also our carbon monoxide detector as well. It's a smaller model. I haven't seen this one yet. The warning sticker is to make sure you test this guy every 9 to 14 days. Pretty much in here is going to be your fuse control panel box. Anything that runs off the 110 is going to be on your breakers, and they do have it labeled for you. Anything that runs off the battery is going to run on your fuses, and they also have that label for you here as well. Nice thing is everything looks like they are 15s, except for the converter. Those are going to be 240s. So for some reason it seems like the converter isn't charging your battery for you. Check those guys first. A lot of times if the battery got hooked up backwards, it'll blow those fuses so it doesn't damage anything inside. In the bathroom, we have our GFCI outlet, our sink, medicine cabinet area, our light for our fan. Just open it, turn the switch on. Then we got our shower, and then our toilet area here. For this guy, you would lightly press on this pedestal, and it would add water so you can do your business, and then all the way down flushes. You always do want to leave some kind of liquid in there so that that seal doesn't get dry rotted or brittle. Pretty much the dinette area does fold down or breaks down to a bunk, sleeping area. Pretty much you would lift the table up, you would pull these legs out, they sit on the ground, And the table generally sits right on these grooves right here, and then you fill it in with the backs. Then we got the couch here that also folds out into a bed. This guy here should just lift and folds down. And you do have storage underneath as well for like the blankets and stuff like that. If you ever have an issue, you can always back here grab the handrail and help guide it into position. With this guy here, these guys, you just flip the wing and the window will slide open. And that locks it in. Over here is going to be the radio. Pretty much when you go to turn this guy on, it is a CD player. It may have the wire hook up here. Let me take a look here. It does look like it may be tied in, so you could also watch DVDs. Got your volume controls here. So speaker zone B is going to be those inside speakers. So speaker zone A is those outside speakers. So if you're trying to work outside, want to listen to music, someone inside is trying to watch some TV, as long as it's not a DVD, you can listen to music, they can watch TV. Pretty much push this guy open to put your CD in, DVD in. There you go. It does provide, they do have a remote for that guy here as well. Pretty much where you would install a TV at. I would go no bigger than a 32, but then all your plugs are going to be located here on the side. This guy here is going to be your TV antenna booster. This is where you would tie in if you want to watch TV through the digital channels they provide for us for free. You do have to make sure that booster is on. If you push that button, that booster will go off. This booster also is the radio. It usually has the antenna tied into it. So if that booster isn't on, this radio signal might not be as strong. And you do got storage up above as well. Right here, we're going to have our real basic thermostat here. This guy here is pretty much you just set it to what you would like to do and then set your temperature. I do always like to recommend leaving the fan in the auto position. If you have it in the on position and you go to turn the heat on, I've seen situations where the fan on the air conditioner will come on while your furnace is running. And then, of course, it's going to feel cold because we're using the furnace when it's wintertime, so the air is going to feel like the air conditioner is running. So just check your fan if that's not the case. Then here in the bedroom area, oh, did I miss my light switch? Where is it? Oh, there it is. There we go. I was going too fast. So it's got the dual, so you can have either one on or both. You do have an area here if you wanted to bring the TV in, or mount a TV in here. Turn that back on so you can see. Pretty much you would hook up just to the TV. It's a TV backer here. A lot of times they just slap the sticker on the wall, so do try to use a stud finder to try to make sure that you're going into a solid spot. You got your fire escape window here. With this guy, pretty much it is on a hinge, so the whole window would fling open, so if you had to get out, you could get out if you cannot make your way to the door. Then you got your closet area for each side. Here and here, storage up above. You got some space on each side as well. And then they do provide 110 outlets also, and then you do each have your individual reader lights. You do have some storage underneath the bed. You do have to kind of hold this up. There is no like gas struts or anything like to kind of help prop it up for you. And then pretty much from here, we have made our way back to the door. Hopefully this guy was knowledgeable enough for you guys. If you guys do have any questions, please feel free to call and we'll do our best to answer those for you over the phone. And I hope you guys get to enjoy this soon. Thank you and have a wonderful day.